96.9, 96.9. Oh, oxygen. 96.9, 96.9. Oh, oxygen. 96.9, 96.9. Oh, oxygen. 96.9, 96.9. Oh.
Oxygen FM 96.9. Inform, inspire, ignite.
Good day, wonderful listeners, and welcome to Mathematics on Oxygen FM 96.9. I warmly greet our parents, teachers, and their students. Special thanks to our producer, studio manager, and entire management. My name is Muyiwa Ogunriola, your presenter. Get your pen, notebook, and calculator ready as we make mathematics simple and enjoyable. Stay tuned and let today's lesson begin. Today, we are still on indices, but the aspect we are going is indices that can be reduced to quadratic equations. But before we go to that, let's quickly go back to our previous knowledge on indices. In last class, we discussed about the laws of indices, in which we talk about the multiplication law, division law, power law, zero index, negative index, and fraction law, and fraction index. So from that, we talk about the definition of exponential equation, because that's what we did last week. An exponential equation is an equation in which the variable appears in the exponent power of number. For example, 2 raised to power x is equal to 16. Then 5 raised to power x plus 1 is equal to 125. Then 3 raised to power 2x minus 1 is equal to 27. Now, in each of these equations, the unknown variable x is the exponent, making them exponential equations. And in the last class, we saw some example on exponential equation, in which we are still going to solve 2 examples on it before we move to today's work. Example 1 on exponential equation. If you want to join us on Facebook, you can also join us on Facebook, Oxygen 96.9 FM, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube for better understanding, so that you'll be able to see all the figure clearly. Now let's go on. Example 1 on exponential equation from our previous knowledge. Given that 9 raised to power 2x minus 1 multiplied by 3 raised to power 3x plus 1 is equal to 27 raised to power x plus 3. Given that 9 raised to power 2x minus 1 multiplied by 3 raised to power 3x plus 1 is equal to 27 raised to power x plus 3. Now solution. Now when we look at this question, 9 raised to power 2x minus 1 multiplied by 3 raised to power 3x plus 1 is equal to 27 raised to power x plus 3. When you look at that equation, you see that we have 3 there and 3 as base in the middle, and you can see 9 and 27 also can be represented in base 3. So in that case, we are going to make 9 also to be in power of 3 to make 3 to be our base. So in that case, for 9 we have 3 raised to power 2 into bracket. The power that is there before is 2x minus 1. So this one will now be 3 raised to power x into 3 raised to power 2 into bracket 2x minus 1, then close bracket, multiply by 3 raised to power 3x plus 1 is equal to, we have 27 in the other side. That one also will be 3 in power of 3. That is 3 raised to power 3. Then open bracket, because we have 1 power there before, that is x plus 3. It will now be 3 raised to power 3, open bracket, x plus 3. Now, from the side here, we will multiply the bracket in the what? This one will now give us 3 raised to power 4x minus 2 multiplied by 3 raised to power 3x plus 1 is equal to 3 raised to power 3x plus 9. So when you look at this equation now, the base all through is what? Is 3. So from the left hand side, since we have common base here, you will pick 1. And don't forget multiplication law, that where you have multiplication, it will change to addition. So in this left hand side, where we have 3 raised to power 4x minus 2 multiplied by 3 raised to power 3x plus 1, we are going to pick only 3 there. We're going to pick 1 base. That one will be 3. So this one will now be 3 raised to power 4x minus 2. The multiplication in between we turn to plus in the power. It will now be 3 raised to power 4x minus 2 plus 3x plus 1 is equal to 3 raised to power 3x plus 9. So you can see that the right hand side and the left hand side, they have the common base. Then you need to equate the power. That's it. By comparing the base and equating the exponent, we have 4x minus 2 plus 3x plus 1 is equal to 3x plus 9. So when you add the common term together, you see we have 4x plus 3x. That one will give us 7x. We have minus 2 plus 1. That one will give us minus 1. So we have 7x minus 1 is equal to 3x plus 9. Then what do we need? We need to collect the like terms. So 7x, bring the 3 from the other side, we turn to negative. That one will be 7x minus 3x is equal to 9. Then take minus 1 from the left hand side to the right hand side. We give us what? 9 plus 1. So it will now be 4x is equal to 10. Then divide both sides by 4. That one will give us x is equal to 4 over 10. Then when you divide this one by 2, we are going to have 5 over 2. So therefore the x is equal to 5 over 2. Now, example 2 on exponential equation. Given that 3 into bracket 2 raised to power x plus 1 is equal to 384. 3 open bracket 2 raised to power x plus 1 is equal to 384. Now to solve this one, we need to divide both sides by 3. So when you divide both sides by 3, then we are going to have 3 into bracket 2 raised to power x plus 3 close bracket divided by 3 is equal to 384 divided by 3. So when you use 3 to cancel the 3 here, 3 also going in 384 will give us 128. So we are going to have 2 raised to power x plus 3 is equal to 128. So 128 also can be represented in the form of what? In the form of base 2. So that one will now be what? 2 raised to power 7. So this one will give us 2x plus 3 is equal to 2 raised to power 7. By comparing the base and equating the exponents, we have x plus 3 is equal to 7. So collect the like time. X is equal to 7 minus 3, which x will give us, so our x will be equal to what? Be equal to 4. So that is what we have learned last week on exponential equation. But for today, exponential equation that can be reduced to quadratic equation. There are some exponential equation that can lead to quadratic equation. It can also lead to simultaneous equation. So we want to solve problem on it so that we'll be able to know that all these indices can lead to quadratic equation, can lead to simultaneous equation. For example, example 3, this one will be in example 3. Solve the equation 3 raised to power 2x minus 8 open bracket 3 raised to power x close the bracket minus 9 is equal to 0. I take the question again. 3 raised to power 2x minus x open bracket 3 raised to power x close the bracket minus 9 equal to 0. Now, if we look at this equation, inside bracket we have 3 raised to power x. And if we look at the first term here, where we have 3 raised to power 2x, we can also write it in form of 3 raised to power x. So if we want to change that, it will now be 3 raised to power x inside bracket, then raised to power 2. Don't forget power law. When you have 3 raised to power x, then raised to power 2. 3 raised to power x inside the bracket, then raised to power 2. It's still the same thing. If you multiply the power, it will still give you 2x, meaning that we have not done anything. It's still the same thing. So this one will now be 3 raised to power x in bracket raised to power 2 minus 8 raised to 8 into bracket 3 raised to power x close the bracket minus 9 is equal to 0. So now, since we have 3 raised to power x here, and also we have it in the what? In the second term too, then we need to represent it with any variable number. So let's represent it with y. We can say let y be equal to 3 raised to power x, meaning that anywhere you see 3 raised to power x, you put y. Anywhere you see 3 raised to power x, you put y. So if we replace it with y, the equation will now be y squared minus 8y minus 9 is equal to 0. So we see that this one have lead to what? Quadratic equation. But don't forget, we are looking for the value of x. But we need to solve this quadratic equation first to get the value for y. Then we now substitute for y to give us the value for x. And when you look at this one, y squared minus 8y minus 9 equal to 0. This one have lead to quadratic equation. And in solving quadratic equation, we have 4 methods in solving. We have factorization method, we have completing the square method, we have general formula, we have some people will call it almighty formula. Then also we have graphical method. But in this case, we are going to use factorization method to solve this equation. And when you look at it, we see that we have y squared minus 8y minus 9. Then you look for two numbers that if you multiply it together, it will give you minus 9. And when you add it together, it will give you minus 8. We look for the two numbers that when you multiply it together, it will give you minus 9. But when you add the same number together, it still give you minus 8. So we can see that we have minus 9 plus 1. Minus 9 plus 1. So by factorization method, this one will now be y squared plus y minus 9y minus 9 equal to 0. So you put y squared plus y inside the bracket minus 9y minus 9 inside the bracket is equal to 0. Then you factorize. What is common in the first term here? You see that y is common. If we pick y out, it will give us y divided by what? Y squared. That one will give us y. So y divided by y will give us 1. That's why we have y into bracket y plus 1. Close the bracket. Minus 9. Open bracket y plus 1. Y plus 1. That is what? Y plus 1. We give us the value. So when you can see that y plus 1 and y plus 1 is common. So you pick it out. That is y plus 1. Then y minus 9 also you take it out. So it will now be y plus 1 into bracket y minus 9 equal to 0. So now to make y the subject of formula, how to find the value for y, the first one will be y is equal to minus 1 or y is equal to 9. Y is equal to 9. But when you look at that negative, 3x, x is equal, y is equal to minus 1. So negative cannot be our value. X cannot be negative here. Because if we go back to where we represent y is equal to 3 raised to power x, if we replace minus 1 there, it will be 3 raised to power x is equal to minus 1. That one is impossible. So because our value for x there, value for y there is negative. So it is impossible. We cannot solve further here. The only solution we are going to have there, it will be 3 raised to power x is equal to 9. So now, 9 also can be represented in the form of what? In the form of what? 3. So this one will now be 3 raised to power x is equal to 3 raised to power 2. When you equate, the base is the same, then you equate the power. So it now become x is equal to 2. So therefore, the only solution is 2. The only solution is 2 because the negative, that negative, it is impossible to solve. So our value here, our answer here is 2. Now, let's move to the example 4. Solve the equations 3 raised to power 2x plus 1 minus 12, open bracket 3 raised to power x, close the bracket, plus 9 is equal to 0. So this one also will give us 3 raised to power 2x plus 1 minus 12 into bracket 3 raised to power x, close the bracket, plus 9 is equal to 0. We can also write 3 raised to power 2x in form of 3 raised to power x, the way we do the first one. So this one also will give us 3 raised to power x into bracket raised to power 2 multiplied by 3, because you see plus 1 there. In the law of indices, when you have addition sign on the power, it can change to what? Multiplication of that base. It will now be 3 raised to power 2x multiplied by 3 raised to power 1. If you still factor here, you still get 3 raised to power 2x plus 1. So it's still the same thing. Now, minus 12, open bracket, 3 raised to power x plus 9 is equal to 0. So we can use any alphabet to represent our 3 raised to power x. But here I use let p be equal to 3 raised to power x. So anywhere you see 3 raised to power x, you replace it with p. So in this case, we are going to have 3p raised to power 2 minus 12p plus 9 is equal to 0. 3p square minus 12p plus 9 is equal to 0. Now, we are going to use factorization method here too. Now, when you look at the coefficient of 3, a coefficient of p square is 3. Then you multiply it with 9. When you multiply it with 9, it will give you 27. Then you need to look for the word 2 number, that when you multiply it together, it will give you plus 27. And when you add it together, it will give you minus 12. So that value will be minus 9 minus 3. When you multiply minus 3 with minus 9, we give you plus 27. Minus 3 minus 3 will give you 12. So this one will give us 3p square minus 3p, close bracket, open another bracket, minus 9p plus 9 is equal to 0. So when you pick the common factor there, you see that 3p, when you pick the common factor there, in 3p square minus 3, we see that 3p is common. We pick 3p, then in that bracket, it will left with p minus 1. Then in the other side, we pick 9 because 9 is common. When you take 9 out, it will remain p minus 1. So our factor there will be p minus 1 into bracket, then 3p minus 9 is equal to 0. Is equal to 0. Then here, p is equal to 1 or p is equal to 3 over 2. So 3 will goes, and p is equal to 9 over 3. 3 will goes in 9, will give us 3. So our value for p will now be p is equal to 1 or p is equal to 3. Then don't forget that we represent our p with 3 raised to power x. Then we need to substitute that when p is equal to 1, and also substitute when p is equal to 3. So when p is equal to 1, it will be 1 equal to 3 raised to power x. Now 1 is equal to 3 raised to power x. We can rewrite 1 as 3 raised to power 0. Don't forget that any value that raised to power 0 is equal to 1. So this one will now be 3 raised to power 0 is equal to 3 raised to power x. Then the base are the same. Then you equate the power. So our x here is equal to 0. Now for when p is equal to 3, this one will be 3 is equal to 3 raised to power x. Now 3 is equal to 3 raised to power x. That 3 is the same thing as 3 raised to power 1. When you say 3 raised to power 1, we still give you 3. So this one we give you what? The base are the same. Then you equate the power. Our x is equal to 1. So therefore the solution here is 0 and 1. Is 0 and 1. And if you go back, you can also check. You can go back to your question and insert 0 where you have x. Then add it, multiply and subtract together, you still get 0. Likewise, when you put 1, you still get 0. So our answer for this one, our solution for this one is 0 and 1. 0 and 1. Now, example 5. Find the value of y in 3 raised to power 2y plus 3 raised to power y plus 1 is equal to 18. 3 raised to power 2y plus 3 raised to power y plus 1 is equal to 18. Now, this one will follow the same procedure. We can also write this one 3 raised to power y into bracket 3 raised to power 2. 3 raised to power y into bracket raised to power 2 plus 3 raised to power y times 3 raised to power 1 is equal to 18. Then we can use any alphabet to represent our 3 raised to power y. So let x be 3 raised to power y. So our equation there will be x squared plus 3x is equal to 18. Then take 18 inside to make it equations. So this one will now be x squared plus 3x minus 18 is equal to 0. So we can also use factorization method here. Two number that will give us minus 18. And when you add it together, will give us plus 3. We can see that it is plus 6 and minus 3. Plus 6 and minus 3. So to factorize that, we are going to have x squared minus 3x inside bracket plus 6x minus 18 close the bracket is equal to 0. Then when you factorize x, we have x minus 3 plus the other side. When you factorize 6, we have 6 into bracket x minus 3 is equal to 0. So here we are going to have x minus 3 and x plus 3 is equal to 0. So our value for x here will be x is equal to 3 or x is equal to minus 6. And since 3 raised to power y is greater than 0, x is equal to minus 6 is impossible because it is negative. So we cannot make use of the negative to get the value for y. So we can only use x is equal to 3. So if we use x is equal to 3, then we go back to where we use x is equal to 3 raised to power y. So when you replace the x with 3, we are going to have 3 raised to x is equal to 27. Now solution. The first one, 2 raised to power x plus y is equal to 32. We can call that one equation 1. Then 3 raised to power y minus x is equal to 27. We can call that one equation 2. Now, let's go to equation 1. In equation 1, we have 2 raised to power x plus y is equal to 32. That 32 also can be represented in form of 2 raised to power 5. So because we have 2 raised to power x plus y, so we can also simplify that 32. So that 32 also will be 2 raised to power 5. Since they have the common base, then we need to equate the power. So we are going to have x plus y is equal to 5. Let's call that one equation 3. X plus y is equal to 5. Let's call it equation 3. Then we go back to equation 2, where we have 3 raised to power y minus x is equal to 27. 27 also can be simplified in power of 3. So that one will be 3 raised to power 3. So we are going to have 3 raised to power y minus x is equal to 3 raised to power 3. Since the base are the same, we need to equate the power. So we are going to have y minus x is equal to 3. Let's call that one to equation 4. Now, we need to combine the equation 3 and equation 4 together. This one will give us x plus y is equal to 5. That is equation 3. Minus, well, if we rearrange the equation 4, it will give us minus x plus y is equal to 3. That one will be equation 4. Now here we can use elimination method here. And why? Because the two are variable here, we need to kill one. And the word of elimination means it just word from eliminate, just to kill one variable in order to get second one. And you see that the first one is positive x, and the second equation we have negative x there. So it is easy for us to kill x, to eliminate x. So in that case, you just need to add the equation together. So when you have x minus x, it will give us 0. Then y plus y, it will give us 2y. Then 5 plus 3 will give us 8. So we are going to have 2y is equal to 8. Divide both sides by 2. Our y will be what? Will be 4. Y will be giving us 4. Now, we have get the value for y, remain x. Then we need to put y is equal to 4 into equation 3 so that we'll be able to get the value for x. So our equation 3 is x plus 4. Our equation 3 is x plus y equal to 5. And we know that our y is 4. When you replace 4 with y in equation 3, we are going to have x plus 4 is equal to 5. X plus 4 is equal to 5. So this one will give us what? We have x is equal to 5 minus 4, and our x will be equal to 1. So therefore x is equal to 1 and y is equal to 4. Now it is time to call to ask for the questions or to answer the question. But before I call the studio line, I would like you to write this question down and solve. Find the value of y. Find the value of y. If 5 raised to power y plus 5 raised to power y plus 1 is equal to 30. I take the question again. 5 raised to power y plus 5 raised to power y plus 1 is equal to 30. So you can call us now. The studio line is 070 4700 3969. 070 47003969 or 07047002996 07047002969. Okay, the question again is 5 raised to power y plus 5 raised to power y plus 1 is equal to 30. So that is the question. I'm still expecting your call. So when you are doing that, let's continue to solve one more before we call it a day for today. Find the value of x in 7 raised to power 2x plus 1 minus 50 open bracket 7 raised to power x close the bracket plus 7 is equal to 0. 7 raised to power 2x plus 1 minus 50 into 7 raised to power x plus 7 is equal to 0. We need to follow the same procedure. Now we can rewrite 7 raised to power 2x as 7 raised to power x into bracket raised to power 2. Then we let's use u to okay. Now let's use u to represent 7 raised to power x. So if we replace it, we are going to have u square times 7 minus 50u plus 7 is equal to 0. So this one will give us 7u square minus 50u plus 7 is equal to 0. So by factorization method, if we use 7, we have 7u square. So u square here have the coefficient of 7. If we multiply it with the 7, the last time will give us 49. So we look for two numbers that will multiply together that will give us 49 plus 49. And when you add the same number together will give us minus 50. So that value will be minus 49 and minus 1. So we are going to have 7u square minus 49u close the bracket, then minus u plus 7 is equal to 0. So if we factorize here, we have 7u into bracket u minus 7, and the other side we factorize 1 will be 1 into u minus 7. So our factor here will be 7u minus 1 into bracket and 7 minus u minus 7 into bracket is equal to 0. So in this case, u is equal to 1 over 7 or u is equal to 7. Now we need to substitute for u. So we need to go back to where we represent our u is equal to 7 raised to power x. So let's substitute when u is 1 over 7. We are going to have 7 raised to power x is equal to 1 over 7. And don't forget the negative index. We are going to have 7 raised to power x is equal to 7 raised to power minus 1. Then we equate the power. Since the base are the same, our x is equal to minus 1. Then we find when u is equal to 7. So this one also will be 7 raised to power x is equal to 7. 7 is the same thing as 7 raised to power 1. So when you equate the power here, we have x is equal to 1. So therefore, our solution for this one is the what? Minus 1 and 1. I'm still waiting for your call. You can call us on the studio line 70747 003969. 07047 003969. And the question is 5 raised to power y plus 5 raised to power y plus 1 is equal to 30. Hello, the caller.
Hello.
What is your name and where are you calling from? I can't hear you.
My name is Asaka.
Again?
My name is Ezekiel from Asaka.
Ezekiel
Yes.
from
Asaka, Okiado.
okay, Okeado. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Your question, or you want to answer the question? Oh, Ezekiel, you can call us back. You can call us back. Okay. I want to appreciate those people on Facebook, Oxygen 96.9, for your comment. Thank you. Thank you. God bless you. We have come to the end of today's mathematics lesson. I encourage every student to revise and practice what we have learned. Special thanks to our parents, teachers, producer, and studio manager, and the management. I am Muinwa Ugunriola, your presenter. Join us again for another exciting mathematics lesson. Keep learning, keep practicing, and remember, success comes through consistent effort. Thank you. Till we meet again.